in the mind, even now, in the intellect, is reflected this Atma or consciousness. And where it is said that in the cave of the intellect it is, because in the cave of the intellect it is seen, known clearly. Now, how does this self reside in the heart? He says, all have accepted that there seems to be two selves, like two birds on the same branch. Basically, all of you have a split personality. Don't you even now seem to feel that there is two yous? This one you who is getting emotional, who is getting affected, etc., and one who is a witness of even that. Chaya tapo brahmavido vadanti. These two selves are not two separate. They are like the light and its shadow. Shadow has got no existence apart from the light. Elsewhere it is used, the word is used as reflection. Chaya, reflection. And by this method, the teachers have pointed out why this confusion within us, why this delusion within us, why does this identity crisis within us, why is it that we cannot realize ourselves? And who is this me now who is separate from the Atma that is being talked about so gloriously? And why is it that I cannot realize it? Why is it that I cannot be it? There are not two selves, but there appears to be two. Even now, there's supposed to be me, and I'm aspiring for something else. So there is me, the little self, whom we call Atma, and there is this larger self called Paramatma. And now that Paramatma can't be sitting in me, so it must be sitting in heaven. It says both are residing in the core of your personality. Yeah? But one is like light, other is its reflection. Just as in a pond, and in the rainy season many ponds are formed, the sun, which is one, gets reflected in those ponds. The many reflections that you see are reflection of only one sun which is there. The reflections are just images of that sun. In some ponds, the reflection appears very dull. In other ponds, the reflection is breaking and shaking and shimmering and shining, but unsteady. And in some ponds, there seems to be absolutely no difference between the sun and its reflection. What is the difference? Or even in the same pond, when the rains have just splattered upon the earth and have created these muddy pools, the sun reflected in that appears very dull, muddy, and hardly visible. But as decantation takes place and the heavy substance settles down, and just the gentle breeze is flowing on the water, creating ripples, you see a scattered, brilliant no doubt, but a scattered sun. Not exactly how it is, but kind of disturbed. But its shine you can see. But when that pool becomes absolutely steady, absolutely clear, the sun and its reflection almost appears the same. And even though you cannot look up directly to the sun, because the glare is so powerful, and you do not have the eyes to get used to that sun, but when you look at that sun in that pool of steady water, you have a clear knowledge of how the sun looks. This is the stages of your intelligence. This is the stages of your knowledge. When you get this knowledge in a muddy mind, it is as unclear as the reflection of the sun in the muddy waters. But when you get this mind with this knowledge with an unsteady mind, but not muddy, not impure, then it's a doubtful knowledge. But when you get it in a quiet mind, pure mind, it is as clear as the original itself. It's about knowledge. In the same way, even though this consciousness, Atma, is only one and the same in everybody, this Atma, when it gets reflected in the pool of the mind, depending on the condition of the mind and intellect, when the light falls into the water is alive. The water starts shining. The reflection from the water can light up this whole room. And this is how this Jiva, this ego, this individuality that I call as myself, which is either a sinner or a saint, which is either good or bad, confused, etc., is because of that identification with the reflection of the Atma, the consciousness, in the pool of your thoughts. Therefore, some people, you can see godliness shining through them. Everything that you might say is godly, you can see them in them. Why? Because the reflection in them is there in a mind which is pure and steady. In others, you see the glow, the fame, the power, etc., but you don't see the divinity fully. Rajasic minds. And there are others, even though it is there, but you hardly see anything. Therefore, the different types of beings therefore, who is this Jiva? At best you can say is the reflection of consciousness in the pool of thoughts. As your thoughts, so you are at this moment. Keep your mind cheerful, happy, pure. You reflect the glory of the Atma in you, the glory of divinity in you. Agitated, full of desires, winds and storms of desires coming and going. Some shine is there, but breaks, keeps on breaking. And if it is full of muddiness and impurities, more the muddiness, less the shine can be seen. Yeah. More dull it is, vegetable. Even duller, stone. So the rishis have pointed out this Jiva, ego that we call as the self, as the doer, the enjoyer, etc., is just the reflection of consciousness in the pool of your mind and intellect. Yet understand, the reflection is not anything separate from the original, because it has got no existence apart from it. It is the sun only reflecting in the pool